are these local-ass bitches?
On today's show, the bitches discuss the telltale signs of crazy for online dating. Lisa and Rosa talk about the gal's pussy, cat classifications, while Nora talks about the dangers of loved ones causing you to censor your shit. Manny performs his newest creation, a homage to drunken nights with the promise of Greek diner food. Without further ado,
I'm Lisa.
I'm Manny.
I'm Rosa.
I'm Nora.
Welcome to the lab.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the lab.
Welcome.
And we're back. Great.
It's been a month.
Yeah.
Right? We've been consistent with that.
We have been consistent, and I'm glad because we love doing this.
Yes. Thank you for everyone who's been tuning in, checking us out, giving us a little whirl, twirl, listen. We really appreciate it.
Definitely appreciate the support.
So if you take the time to listen, please go ahead and rate us too. We'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, on iTunes or on Stitcher, right?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what on your brain when you listen to us. I know we are silly and and we go on wild tangents. You know, I often think we should have named the show Wild Tangents.
Yes.
We are Wild Tangents.
That would have been good. That would have been also good. Yeah. So, let's see, for this week, or this month.
Well, Manny was just doing a song that he's been working on. It's pretty funny.
We're you know, it's I guess it's about Greeks a little bit. You know, I consider Greeks are like Italians with diners. You know, and diners.
Yeah,
are
it's
like
pretty much the same thing.
Totally.
You know,
totally. They do it in diner form.
Yeah.
We do it in a restaurant form. But I think like diners are like my favorite place on earth. And when I lived outside the country, I was so sad not to have diners.
Yeah, that must have been weird.
Oh my god,
There's
it was the worst
none
thing.
like.
No, they don't exist in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, diner is just not.
It's
not,
very
not
American. Yeah. Like it's very like Patsy Weber.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's real. But that wasn't a diner. That was actually more like a restaurant, like a fast food place, I guess. But I don't know. It had like that kind of American, like all-American diner makes me think of all-American.
That's really funny. The story you guys were sharing the other day with the overtly nosy waitress.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like we have this waitress, like we've been going to this place since we were kids, you know, and like this waitress is just like always in your business. She's like, she'll deliver the food, she'll be like, so, what are you guys doing? I'm like, we were gonna eat. She's like, oh wow, you got a lot of ketchup on your plate, huh? How do you feel about that? I was like, I like the ketchup.
Yeah. My favorite part was when your sister was like, because she was like, I guess like, you know, your sister said something like, oh, we want to take care of this. And then your mom was always like, no, I'll take care of it. And then the waitress is like, yeah, well, your mom always pays. So, you know, so every once in a while, maybe you guys should pay. Like, why are you like waiting and putting in your 2 cents?
And even with the plate, she was like, oh, you done with that? My sister's like, no. She's like, okay. And she started taking it away. And she's like, do you want to just take the pickle off the plate? Just take the pickle.
Oh my God. You have to like fight to like keep your food.
So funny.
But anyways, this is a song inspired by Bonnie Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to play it for you guys. What do you say, gals?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Yes, let's showcase your talent at the top of the game. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why have all the drag queens gone? Now I have to leave the bar. I told the streetwise vendor he could pass out in my car. I need a White Castle upon which I can feed. It's late at night and I'm super drunk and I know just what I need. I need a gyro. I'm going up for a gyro's open till midnight. And it's gotta be Greek and it's gotta have lamb and it's gotta have tzatziki sauce. I need a gyro. I'm going up for a gyro's open till midnight. And it's gotta be good and it's gotta have fries and it's gotta stick to my thighs. I I need a gyro. I think it's almost midnight and I can barely see. Slobbering on the corner, I see a condiment tree. Slipping on myself and tripping on my feet. I think I fell on a drag queen and I spilled it on her teats. I mean my hero. I think that I spilled my hero on a drag queen's titties. And she's gotta be mad cause she's got all the lamb and she's covered in cucumber sauce. I spilled my hero. Yes, I spilled my hero on a drag queen's titties. And I gave her my prize and they had to be good. And I'm sorry she eats like a guy. I want my hero.
Thank you.
You always come up with some great parodies.
Well, that's just what I do. I
Yeah.
mean, I go by, my music name is Manny Petty.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect.
It's perfect. It goes
Yeah.
with stuff.
Mhm.
And I do funny stuff, but I also do serious stuff. And my other band, Mystery Machine, we're currently doing like a crowdfunding for a new album. So if you're interested, just visit mremachine.com. Like mystery, so mremachine.com. And pre-buy the album, and it'll help us produce it. So
Yes.
thank you.
And you have a new band member too. If you want to talk about
We do,
that,
yeah. Melissa Kempfer, she's fantastic. She's a wonderful bass player and a great vocalist. And we're actually, we got a lot of shows coming up. We're playing one of Chicago's oldest leather bars
Nice.
on
so cool.
April 23rd. It's called Touche. It's got the dirty, dark back room and everything. You guys should totally come to
Oh
that.
my god,
Totally.
that
Yeah,
sounds
it'll be
oh
super
my god,
fun.
that sounds amazing.
And then we're doing
Like
Hedwig.
what would you wear to that?
Yeah, exactly. I gotta dust off some stuff from my
It's like,
closet.
I wear a harness.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's how you wear it. It's really
Dave
fun.
Navarro.
No, I didn't get the
Dave
Dave Navarro.
Navarro.
I should totally get the Dave Navarro. And then if anybody ever needs a guitar strap.
But you'll see
Yeah,
assless
right.
chaps
Yeah, like, hold on a
there.
second, bitches. I got it right here. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, a few episodes ago, we were talking about how Dave Navarro started up his own restraint line that also doubles as a guitar strap.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? A guitar
Yeah, because I was
strap.
like, doesn't it double as something?
Yeah, it sure
We were
does.
saying, what occasion would you use that? This is the perfect occasion.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm playing at a leather bar.
Yeah, that would be.
Oh my god.
And just in case something happens to the current one you have, or you forget it, you're
Yeah.
covered. You're covered.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If it
Like,
doubles as like an.
If you have to ask the crowd, anyone have a extra guitar strap?
Yeah.
No one's gonna have one. Now they will. Well, Lisa will.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, so it's super fun. We're playing that. We're doing Hedwig Unplugged. So the music,
Yeah.
the music of Hedwig and the
I love
Angry Inch.
Hedwig.
We're doing it at a place called Mary's Attic here in Chicago on April 28th. So that's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we'll just be playing around the city all summer, and we're super excited.
Yay, fun. I'm so excited for you guys. I mean, you're really developing your sound and you're coming into your own now that you've got Melissa on board and
Yeah.
you really feel like you've got a good foundation going. So that's yay, we're proud of you.
Yes. Very important.
Living the dream.
But let's see. So we have like quite a few things. We've been like kicking around some topics. One of them that like really caught my eye was, how do you spot a cray?
Cray, cray.
Online, how do you
Yeah.
spot the crays
Yeah.
Or even just in general.
Or
There's
even
some-
just in general.
There's some
The
telltale signs.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
and I've got a good one.
Okay.
You wake up in the morning
Uh-huh.
and you notice you have 12 messages. You're like,
Mm.
oh my god, all these people are into me. What's going on? And they're all from the same person.
That's-
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
yes.
a
That's
definitely
kinda
an
weird.
indicator.
That's
Mhm.
happened. For example, there'll be like, hi. And then the next line will be like, what are you up to? Oh, I'm just sitting at home. And then the next line's like, oh, I think it'd be really great if we hang out sometime. And they have this whole conversation with themselves. For like the
Oh
night, and then
my-
you wake up in the morning and you see the whole conversation.
No.
See, that's creepy.
Delete.
I never had that.
happen?
I never
Yeah.
had that happen.
Oh yeah, I've had
What
that.
if
And then,
never
like,
had
I
the 12
do,
messages.
like, you know, where it's like, hi, and then there's like,
And then crickets?
yeah, and you're like, what the
Well,
Why usually you delete those?
Well, Dan Savage was saying that online, when you say hi to someone, it's the equivalent of giving them eye contact at a bar.
Right. I can see that.
So if you don't, like at a bar, you would look back at them.
Yes, you could
But
tell
if you're
when
not
there's
gonna look,
interest.
if you're not interested, you just don't say hi.
Right. You don't really reciprocate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl,
And some people don't like it.
we're looking at some dating sites, and this
What's
motherfucker
happening
says
over
he's
here?
26 years old. Bitch, no, you ain't.
That's another thing too. See, but that wouldn't go like in cray.
You know what
It wouldn't
I
be in cray land if somebody's lying about their age. I think that's probably pretty common that people want to do that. It's
Yeah, but to
not honest.
courtey, you're 17.
Yeah,
Do not
yeah.
say you're like 29.
Exactly.
That's scary. Like, okay,
And they
for
get
women
bitches
like us, we're
arrested.
older, you know, and I'm a mom. I can't, like, all of a sudden, like, yeah, you look really young.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You look 17. Like, show me some
I don't
ID,
think-
bitch.
Right, you know me with the young. So
Well,
I'm like the young, but you're like, if they're like 18,
Well, then they have to
be-
be
Oh.
they have to be
like, I'm gonna
legal
kill
and
myself.
yeah.
I mean, I've had like 18-year-olds approach me, and the first thing I say, I'm like, aren't I a little old for you? And they're like, no,
they like
daddy.
it.
They're like, no, daddy. I'm like, nope.
No.
I ain't no one's
it's
daddy.
It's like a line.
Yeah, it's like I ain't no one's daddy.
You know, you're
Nature made me gay, so I'm no one's daddy.
like, I can't, like, what age is cougar?
I
thought it was. Is it 40s?
40s. I think
yeah.
40s.
So it's not the gap in age. It's you have to qualify to be a cougar?
I think because
I'm
then they
looking at
call
shit
the
up.
younger ladies that like say they're in their 30s and they're still going out with like 20-year-olds.
That's me.
What did they call them?
Desperate.
No. They call them. No, I thought it was like Panthers or something. They called them something else.
Oh,
You know, like
Jesus,
something a little
too
bit
much
more.
shit.
Yeah, I know.
Cheetos?
Yeah, some
To the
shit like
cheating? No,
that.
those are the cheaters.
Like
The
oh,
cheaters.
God,
They
I
got
forgot what they call
cougar
them.
apps, cougar dating, cougar dates.
You guys gotta go on that shit. Oh, get on this cougar dating.
I'm always
Damn.
Googling shit.
Dang
Yeah.
young.
Oh my
Cougar
God.
dating for mature women and toy boys.
Boy toys or did you just read that like
boys.
dad?
No,
Oh.
it says toy boys.
That's like that tongue twister where you say toy boat 3 times fast. Can you guys do it? Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. Try it.
Toy boy, toy boy.
You can't do it.
Toy boat.
Hey,
toy boat.
it-
Try it at home.
Almost, yeah.
In our defense, we've been drinking wine.
That's
So-
a cougar.
Yeah, does it say like what age?
I
a
thought
cougar
it was.
would be?
I thought it was 40s.
40.
You know, like yeah.
Now
Now Nora's
it's
like flash us
been
pictures. What?
commandeered by
What?
the media to mean any woman who dates younger or even any woman over 40 who has her shit together, is empowered and good looking and chooses to be with younger men.
Okay.
PUMA. Cougar.
PUMA. That's what they call
Wait, it's not the Puma. What is that? Wait, what's a
Dude,
Puma?
look at there's Wildcat. No,
What is
you
that?
need to
them.
stop.
A 20-year-old that goes out with 14-year-olds? Like what's
Yeah,
that?
really.
Let's see this shit. Let's see where I land.
Rosa needs to label herself. You know, and it's
A lynx.
A
A lynx.
What is that?
It's not a cat. Like it's in the cat family. Oh my god.
Wait, what? Are you a lynx?
Yeah, let's see. They have the age range right here. No way. Age 0 to 12, house cat. 0 to 12, you're a house
What?
cat.
Wait a
So,
minute.
feline scale based on a woman's age. That's what this is about. So it's like this scale classifies women who prey on younger men for their sexual appetite as feline. So
0 to 12, what the fuck are you praying on?
yeah. 0 to
Like
12,
a 4
Is that
house
in cat
cat.
years? Wait a minute. Is that in cat years?
It's so weird.
You can't be
Age
0.
13 to 17.
You're like a baby, like fucking scrolling.
Like an infant in the crib. Like that's part of their mobile. Like they're like they have like the apps. Like totally so they can like
You
scroll.
know, Manny knows me. When I was a kid, I would definitely.
You would have done that as a kid.
Yeah.
Your cell phone's been
So
around.
that was a house cat. So age 13 to 17 is a bobcat.
Okay.
Age 18 to 21, wildcat. Age 22 to 29, that's the lynx.
Oh, I'm the Puma. I know.
So wait, so ages 30 to 39 is a puma.
Holla.
Age 40 to 49 is cougar, that's me and Nora. Age 50 to 59, you're a jaguar. Jaguar,
Oh.
yeah. And 60 to 68, you're a panther.
Oh.
And then they start going to single digits, like a couple years or so. Age 69 is a pussycat. Age 70 to 79 is a cheetah. Age 80 to 89 is a leopard. Age
better
90,
get it, girl.
look at, yeah, it's like, get it, girl. They're going up. Age 90 to 99 is a tiger. Age 100 plus is a lion.
Wow, the queen.
God bless your ass.
Like
Lioness.
You're still mounting it at 100 plus.
Girl!
I
Probably
think that's gonna require a little bit of extra lubrication.
Yeah. On both ends of the scale, the very young and the very old. Yeah, think about it.
This is like the most I've learned about pussy in a long time.
The very young.
100-year-old pussy.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, it's funny because in the gay community, there's also like the different. It's more like the bear family.
Bear.
So like there's otters.
Yeah.
Otters are like thinner but hairy.
Okay. Oh, really? I didn't know there was
tend
such
to be
a.
younger, but bears are like chubbier
Correct.
and hairy.
They're like
but
big
they have to be
guys.
older too. Like I would be too young to be a bear.
Oh, gotcha.
Like bears are more like 40s.
Oh.
But I would be like a cub or an otter. I'm kind of in between.
Okay.
Because I'm not like super chubby, but I'm not like super thin. So I'm kind of in between.
So what else do they have?
There's a wolf.
And what are they?
Which is like a bearded guy, but it's like really athletic.
Oh,
Like
that's
my friend,
a good
like
description.
Steven Leonard, he'd be like
he'd be
a
a
wolf.
wolf.
And then twinks.
Twinks.
They
I
don't
like the
necessarily-
twinks.
Now the twinks don't necessarily have to be young though. They can be like in their 30s or
Okay.
but usually it's 20 something.
They look
that are
very
really
boyish.
thin and no hair on the body.
And there's something about it
They're
that's
like
very
pretty.
boyish.
Yeah, very boyish.
Yeah.
So those are twinks. Then there's jocks,
Okay.
which are muscular, not very hairy either, but they're
athletic and into like.
They're really
sports
hot.
and-
Yeah, like the traditional what you think of as like an
As a-
Abercrombie guy would
Yes,
be a jock.
yes.
They're the jocks. Then God, there's so many. What else is there?
I didn't know there was so many. I thought there was just like bear.
There's
thought it was
polar
like
bears.
guys.
Yeah, polar bears. What are
Polar
they?
bears are like salt and pepper.
Oh,
Like,
that's
but you're like a bear, but you
cute.
got
I like
salt
these.
and pepper.
These are cute.
Then there's daddies, which aren't necessarily chubby, but they can be like built, but they're older guys. Or
Like
just
Dolly.
daddies.
What was it?
Who?
Dolly.
Who the fuck is that?
Me and Nora were talking about that shit. Well, what do we call it? She's
Me
like,
and Manny are like
she's
what?
like engrossed in like
And pictures of like chests.
dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cute.
See,
Yeah,
Nora's showing us pictures of guys, but you guys can't see it on the
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
here.
So she's like totally
So this is like
engrossed.
all for naught.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That is hilarious. Well,
See,
that's
I get overwhelmed with labels though. That's
Yeah.
where you lose me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think when
So now, like that new shag Nora's got, you gotta.
Yeah.
I wish I had a new shag.
So what are you trying to say? She's gotta like get some new selfie pics and like start
becoming that shag, you know.
becoming the shag.
When you rock a shag, you are.
Yeah, that's my favorite haircut. I've seen.
Anytime I tell people like a hairdresser that I'm a singer, they give me a shag. They give me the
Really?
Joan Jett. Yeah, they think
Does that mean
that's
they want to shag you?
no. I think that they think that every rocker chick has that hair.
Because look at you Google sexy haircuts, the shag.
That's always it's only that hair. It's like totally like yeah. There's
Because it's kind of
that.
like it looks good. You
It does
fucked
look
all
good on
night,
stage.
and then you wake
Yeah.
up and you like shag.
On stage, it looks good in pictures. It does the shag.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's like
Yeah.
that head. It'll always look good. You know, you like wake up and you're like Joan Jett.
Yeah, Joan Jett always looks good.
Right.
Yeah.
The shag.
It's so I guess it's because of the shag.
But getting us to the cray, we gotta
Yes.
get back to the
Oh
cray.
yeah, we didn't even talk about the telltale signs of the shag.
I think
Like,
we
what
just
the fuck?
gave all the telltale signs of a crane just by speaking.
Us.
To me,
We are the cray.
to me, it's a crazy. I have one thing
Yeah.
and one thing only. If you smile at somebody, and like not if they're preoccupied, because sometimes they're preoccupied, you don't smile back.
You can tell the difference.
But if you smile at somebody and they don't so much as smirk back or make a little head nod, bitch, you cray.
Yeah, like but they're
We don't
staring
think
right
they're just
at you.
nervous?
What do you mean?
It's a different type of a look. I think there's more going on than just there's something in
Okay,
the
like
eyes.
you're
It's
yeah,
the eyes.
like
Always
even
have to
just
look
in
at the eyes.
general, dude. Like if
Like
you're
in
like
the
at a
street.
store or even you just like see somebody, you're not even in the street because that might be like
Kinda
you're like
awkward,
yeah, but you're in the store and you're like in something where you're like, oh, we're a little too close for comfort. So like
So
I
you
wanna
smile,
I want to
kinda lessen the
acknowledge you,
awkwardness,
but we
yeah.
don't know each other. So I'm just gonna say hello without saying hello. Smile, and they're like crazy, and you're like, nope. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Like they just look at you like they don't look at you. They're just like.
They're see-through.
Well, no, they are
Something's
looking
wrong
at
with
you,
you.
but they're just kind of like very hostile. It's almost hostile.
Yeah, and you're like, smile, bitch.
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
like you
Do what I want you to do, bitch.
like, do you know what I mean?
It's
or
a different type of thing. it's not only just the smile. It has to do with like the whole aura of the person. There's something
can
about
happen
it that
with
is
your
just
boyfriend.
it's off-putting.
Like you're sitting at dinner and then you like glance at the guy and then you like smile because you know you're just like a little smirk. You know?
Oh, right,
and they're
right.
just like, brr,
yeah.
and that brr means dead serious. You're like, why? Why does that look like that? That to me screams crazy.
That's too much
Or-
overthinking. Maybe he was thinking about his taxes.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they're preoccupied.
Not when they're preoccupied.
It's a different type of thing. There's a nuance.
It's
It's
a
a nuance.
feeling,
I think
dude.
it's more of a feeling.
The feeling that you get, you know when you were like a kid and you would like hang out with friends and you were like, oh, this is a new girl, she's new from around the town. And then you're like, she's kind of crazy, but whatever. And then you like end up at her house and you're like, and then she's like, you want to sleep over? And in your head you're like, this bitch would kill me. Like that.
Yeah.
It's like a feeling.
Yeah.
Like the bitch that would kill roommates.
It's
like,
really hard to explain because it's very.
A bitch that would kill roommates,
Uh-huh.
and then a bitch that would kill roommates when coaxed.
Oh,
When
when close. So so they like follow the crowd. Is that what you mean? Like if somebody wanted them to do what they would do.
Yeah, so but they're crazy enough to do.
And they're crazy enough to concede. Yeah.
So, yeah, because they're and then they're a little
Or
bit
they're like,
stupid.
"Oh,
Right.
just because you asked.
Yeah, so then not only are they crazy, they're fucking stupid.
Oh my god, it's really, really hard to explain it so much. And everybody has that intuition, that voice that is telling you that something is wrong, and whether you choose to heed.
What if
that
you're
voice
Every
or not.
time you don't listen to that voice,
Yes.
every time you don't listen to your gut, it's always a
Okay,
bad
so
Oh
here's
my
the
God.
thing. The motherfucker's crazy, no smile, all the clues are there, but it's Gail Harrell.
Oh!
What do you think?
Who's Gail Harrell?
That's the guy that I like. Remember the actor that I think is so
Oh,
like
what has he
American
done?
Christian Bale.
Or
What do you
Christian
do?
Bale. Or Christian Bale. Now Christian Bale kind of looks like he'd be kind of nuts, but
We have a girl.
oh girl, I
Bring
don't know.
it.
I would totally be in a predicament
Me
because
He's the
Yeah,
kind
so
of guy
like
that
Christian
like-
Bale opens the door. He's in a slick outfit. You could
Aw.
smell the moisturizer on his skin.
Yeah, 'cause
But he
But.
turns around and there's blood splattered all over his clothes. Would you still fuck him?
She said, "Oh." I would like. I would be
Yeah,
like.
no.
I would totally be like.
Wait,
Is that ketchup?
if he's like
Do mans get their periods now?
if it's American Psycho, Christian Bale with the blood.
I always
Yeah.
liked him, even when he was
I
with
like
no
it in
muscular,
American Psycho.
with no
is
muscle
where
tone. I even liked.
I
him.
like that businessman.
Yeah, I liked him the whole time.
I like the businessman, the tall.
I don't like the attitude of the businessman.
I
don't
like
think
the
I could
look
do that.
of the
Oh,
business.
they look nice. I will say, yeah, they look
Slick back
nice.
and
They
the
look nice. Yeah.
girl.
They
The
look very
businessman
bad.
makes me think of like the human race is a virus.
Yeah.
Remember that
Yes.
Matrix?
Yes, I
The Matrix.
love
It's so
that
odd to me,
movie.
the
I
guy
love
looks
that
so
movie.
bad.
Yeah. I love
Oh my
that
god!
movie.
Every time I have
The
like
first
clients like that, because like our like clients that you come in there to like the human race is a virus.
Yeah, the first Matrix
They
is
have
the
that
best one.
look, but they always look so like dapper.
Yeah, they do. They look very put together. But okay, so that would be a telltale sign. So
Yeah.
it wasn't great.
Okay, so
like, why would you answer the door splattered in some red substance?
It's no,
that really looks.
Here's
that
the thing.
seriously looks like
Crazy comes in little flashes.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
Flashes of crazy.
You gotta pick it up at
Yeah.
first, and then little by little they start showing you more and more crazy.
Like if they're like so, and it's like flash of crazy. You know what I mean? Like their eyes just look.
I'll give you one. So I went on a date with this guy, and so there we are. We're in a restaurant, and the waiter came by like a few times, like waiters do, you know, check on you and all this stuff. And I'm a talker. I talk to people, you know.
No. I don't believe
So-
that. You must really open up during dates.
So I'm, you know, nice or whatever. So the waiter comes by and, you know, we're talking and joking and whatever. And every time he would go, and this, mind you, this was my second date with this guy. So he was getting like more and more perturbed. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. We're eating, you know, at this point. Like we had already gotten our entrees. Waiter comes back at some point, must have been toward the end of the date. And then he walks away again. And then my date says, he's totally flirting with you. And like totally making it like it's my fault.
Crazy.
And I'm like, he's a waiter and he's nice to people because, you know, and I think I may have mentioned this before, like in another episode. It's like, that's what they do.
And no.
And they get good tips
And a
because
friend
of
of
it.
mine who was
You know?
schooled in crazy was like, no, because
Yeah,
then he's going to
that's-
start blaming it on her.
Everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
they're like,
possession.
Yes.
They don't. They're looking for someone to
So
possess.
it's a red
Right.
flag.
They're looking for like an object to own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But would you fuck that guy? Probably.
Probably.
This is what I wish we had video because Rosa was like all serious, like, but would you?
And then she took like half a bite of a grape and then she said probably.
But like the dilemma is how do you fuck crazy?
Well,
and
that's
then
the thing.
Get rid of crazy.
Like what? How crazy is crazy? Like, are they so crazy that after one date they're completely obsessed with you, or would you be able to have a casual relationship?
It depends on. Usually they can creep. The crazy could creep. Dude,
Mm-hmm. They could creeps up on
there's
you.
so many levels of crazy.
Yeah.
See, there's another, like, when you're online and you're talking to someone,
Oh yeah.
and there's non sequiturs. For example, you're like, oh, hey, what's going on? And they're like, I got errands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like, it doesn't make any sense
and
with
you're
what
like,
you just
they got
asked them.
what?
Like, I have earrings. Like, it just doesn't make
Yeah,
any
you're
sense
like,
with what you asked.
You're like, oh yeah, this is
That's crazy.
That's like, so what part of the city do you live in? Fuck my fat ass. You know what I mean? It's just
Oh,
like,
that you've had that before.
oh, totally.
That's
Somebody
yeah.
opened a conversation with, fuck my fat ass. Totally.
Oh my God.
Yeah, see, that's
Wow.
That's like fucked. But then
Yeah.
like that's like more safe because you're like you already know they're crazy.
Yeah,
Throw
it's
them
like
in.
a
Yeah.
little
And, yes, and then you don't hate
But
right.
the ones that are like,
that creep up on you.
how's
If-
it going? Just
yeah.
got a new car. Wow, thanks. Awesome. Life's grand. Want to go out to dinner? Yeah, wine's great. Having wine and then fucking crazy and then
Yeah.
back to normal.
Right.
So
it's
you're
like,
like-
you get a flash of crazy. It's like little red flags.
But you're
yeah.
like, dude.
And something, and that's where sometimes I'll
Yeah.
get into trouble too, because you know it right away. But then the rational voice comes in and they're like, well, maybe you're jumping to
However-
conclusions, maybe you saw it wrong, maybe, you know what I mean?
However, if you're onto the crazy, is it safe to fuck them? At
Yeah.
this point, I'm voting yes.
Because you already know how to protect yourself? Is that what you're saying?
Like
Like
you're
you're
on the level of crazy.
It
though.
depends on the level of crazy.
If it's too crazy,
Stop making excuses to justify something right now, girlfriend.
well, here's the thing: if it's too crazy,
This got
there's so
personal
many-
real quick.
There's so many different variables.
Right.
Like for instance,
But then if things are too crazy, like
Yeah.
if it gets like to the point where it's not worth it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like how do you like one night stand, but just
Yes.
like you know, like for
You gotta feel out.
you know,
And
you
that's
gotta
the
feel out.
definition
You
of
know
a
how
one
you're
night
saying like
stand.
sometimes
Yeah.
you could get
You gotta feel
yeah,
out the
because you know there's
personality.
people that you're like, well, I kind of connect with them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
we
a
want
little
the
bit
best
more.
of both worlds. Like it's a little bit more.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than just a one night stand. Yeah.
Then that kind of sucks.
Right,
Because if they're
right.
crazy, it's a little bit more than one night
Yeah,
stand.
that would suck because then you're like, then you're getting into the feelings
Right,
category.
so that's
Yeah.
problems.
Mhm. It could be problems.
Okay, so telltale signs of crazy.
Yeah.
I
So
think
those are that suck.
sometimes they're pretty obvious.
Possessiveness.
Possessiveness.
Oh, yeah. Stay
Yeah.
away from people like that for sure.
And so early. If it comes out early,
knocking you down.
knocking you down.
For example, if you're like dating someone and it's not serious or anything and they just want sex, but they want you to only have sex with them.
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
heard of that? Those
yeah,
people?
yeah, I've heard
They
of
want
that.
to be monogamous, but they're not date you.
Right. And you're
Oh,
like,
they're not
bitch.
like-
I've heard of that.
They're not your
Yeah.
boyfriend or girlfriend, but they just want you to only have sex with them.
Yeah, see, no.
I just
Thankfully, I
recently
haven't.
had that
Yeah.
request.
I've
yeah.
had that too.
That's right. Yeah, see, I haven't had that yet. That hasn't happened.
Like, you don't own me.
Yeah, but now that if it does come up, I'll be like, bitch. Yeah.
You don't own
But
me.
okay, so
What?
crazy. Yeah, man. Because there's so many different levels. I think like
I mean, everybody's
are-
a little crazy. You just
every-
have
but
to
I'm
find-
talking about
get to
like
somebody
No,
that's,
this is like
complimentary.
almost to the point where it would be detrimental to your,
Like
not
lotion.
necessarily to your health or, well, to your mental health. It could
Like
be detrimental
lotion-
to your
like
health.
lotion in the
most
basket?
Yeah.
to your mental
Yeah.
health.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of
But what
crazy?
did you say?
Like lotion in the basket?
No, that's
That's
really
above
fucked up.
and beyond.
That's above and beyond Buffalo Bill fucking nuts.
Sometimes the emotional one, the mental one is even worse than Buffalo Bill. Because then you
Okay,
can try.
Buffalo Bill was trying to make somebody out of a
That's more like
dressing.
dangerous. So you're
Yeah.
like, they're crazy, but the ones that are like underhandedly crazy are scarier.
Well,
Those are
that's
like
a
a
smart
normal
crazy
pro-
person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's face it, though. Okay,
Mhm, mhm.
let's put things in perspective a little bit. We're all a little crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I'm talking about
Like off the
like,
rails.
Like what, Rosa?
like crazy, like emotionally.
Like what? Somebody who would.
And
what?
somebody that would kind of detrimentally, like, ruin your life or, like, get other people involved, like maybe showing up at your job.
Oh,
And, you know,
that's
I mean,
a
can
bad
you
one.
imagine
I've
that?
had friends that were.
Can you
really-
imagine how embarrassing that would be?
That's like restraining order.
Yeah,
Close
yeah.
friends that were in
Like that's
very
crazy.
Crazy relationships like that.
Yeah.
But there's like what keeps them going back.
Well, that's another topic for another
Because
day.
I had people that you
That's
were
only-
like any normal person
Yeah.
would not go back to this. But
Yeah, but sometimes they are normal people, but there's other things at play.
I've
Emotionally,
seen it.
mentally, things that have happened to them in the past. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's the pattern that they live in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I've seen like people that would go back to
Yeah.
maybe because
With crazy people.
because they weren't always like that. They didn't.
Well, no.
Maybe they didn't listen to the red flags.
And there's also the little glimmers, like you said. It's not 24/7 Buffalo Bill, like you're dating Buffalo Bill.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
That's
mean?
what
Like,
I mean by it being easier to do because you're like this motherfucker's crazy.
right. Well, I don't know if it would be easy
Yeah,
to
but
date
if you're
Buffalo Bill.
emotionally attached to somebody, you don't really see
There's
the crazy.
more
But
things
when
going on.
emotionally attached, they must have gotten you somehow.
Yeah.
By
Yeah,
not
well,
showing
well,
you.
they didn't get me. I chose to be gotten.
Oh.
Boo-boo.
Or I fell in without knowing or realizing it or being self-aware enough to know that I
think
was
self-aware
gotten.
has
Self-aware, I
to do
think
with
that's
it.
the one.
Sometimes
Yeah.
really
No,
good
you gotta be
people call
self-aware.
it crazy.
That's not self-aware.
Yeah.
You know, that is. If you're like, you're a good person, yeah, of course. And then shit that happened to you from before. You're like replaying the same pattern.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people that like.
And you're like, Hennes. You know what I mean? Then at the end, like those people a lot of times will wake up and they'll be like, my God. You know, like then when
yeah.
you
Because, like,
realize
the
what
other person
happened.
is cray.
Yeah.
There's different facets. To that.
Yeah, it's really difficult. It's difficult, but like I said, I think those are the top ones. The possession, very early on especially, you're like, bitch, what is your deal?
Or like them just really being aggressive about knowing what you're doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like you're like, man,
Like,
So it's only gonna get
who did you
worse.
go out with last night?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
only gonna get worse.
who was there?
Yeah, what were you guys talking about? What were you doing?
Mhm.
I bet you were talking about me.
And not like in a curious way, just like in a really
No,
invasive
see,
way.
and that's one thing about me. I'm always like, how'd it go?
Right.
And I'm not doing it because I want to ask. Like,
It's different
Yeah.
feel.
like, did you eat pizza?
Yeah, it's a different feel to
Like,
it, though.
right. It's
No,
not
it's a
like,
feel.
I wish I was there, even though I want you to have your own time by yourself, but I
Right.
want you to have a good time. So, you know.
And you wanna
Like,
hear
there
about
was
it.
this
Right.
bitch in
No.
the grocery store say,
Oh, the bitch at the grocery store. She
was
can't
crazy.
shake this lady.
What happened?
this bitch was crazy. And she was like, she was just like really like.
She
let's
probably
really
was
crowd
nuts.
it
She
in
did
there.
seem pretty nuts.
You just know that they're just not stable.
Yeah.
And she was
What did she
like,
say?
She was like, just.
Oh, well, this is what happened. All right, so we're at the checkout. It was like one of those fast lane checkout things. So I went up.
Fast lane, add 30 more minutes to those stupid
Yeah,
fast lane.
that's another thing. Rosa's got a George Costanza out of the fast,
Oh, no.
fast
Never
checkout.
Fast lane, fuck that
No.
shit.
Yeah. She's gonna totally George Costanza.
Item in
out
the
of-
bag and cart.
So
bullshit.
this woman was already like
What the fuck does item in the bagging cart mean?
in the bag.
There's nothing in there.
That's why it's not detecting it.
I rolled it.
Yeah, well, that's why you gotta put it in the bag. That's the way it works.
I rolled it down the wheelie.
There's
But
a
you can't.
sensor underneath the bag.
Yeah, that's why you gotta
So
put it
when they know, that, like,
that the item's not there, you
Right.
can put it in there.
So,
it's still
so
that's how it
wheel
works.
it down the wheelie thing and say item in the bagging cart?
It needs to be there.
Nah, man, why is the wheeling thing there?
I know. That's what I don't get either. I agree.
See, I want to wheel it down the wheeling thing.
And I think it's a flaw. It's
They
a
get the
design
wheeling
flaw.
thing out of there. First of all, why
It
is
must
the
be-
wheeling thing there with bags over there? Nobody's bagging
It's
that
probably
shit.
a design flaw. I'm
But
thinking.
you know what
right
they do
now.
with that wheeling thing?
Yeah, and there's
with
bags.
the bags on the end?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is bagging that?
Yourself.
Person?
Yourself.
They won't let you.
My favorite is when it
It's
says
the item in
when it
the
says like
bagging cart.
when it's like please check your basket. I always grab my crotch. I love that. It's like, please check your basket. It's like okay.
Oh my god! So this lady was there, and she was at the end of the wheelie thing. She was at the end of the conveyor belt.
Because that bitch was probably wheeling them down, and the thing kept telling her wait. So they
But
didn't take
the
that
thing
wheeling
is she
thing
was
out.
there, and it looked empty, like like she was done. So we walked up, and then here comes this lady. She's like, "This is my stuff." And I was like, "Why don't you fucking say something?"
She was like grunting.
and then she started grunting. I was like, "I mean, you leave this all
grunting
empty."
how? Like grunting, like bending over because she can't breathe.
No, she was grunting,
like,
trying.
Oh, that's my stuff. Yeah. And then you were like, well, what fucking say something?
And then she was trying to do the keypad
She was
thing.
like,
and she was like, yeah, she was like,
Was she
cave
a
woman.
Cro-Magnon?
It was so
It
strange.
was fucked up. I was like, bitch, because you were wheeling it on that wheeling thing because it looks
A conveyor
fun.
belt. Because it looks fun.
Yeah, the thing tells you you're doing it wrong.
But the thing is she was shopping, like she bought like groceries for the week. It was like expensive. She bought a ton of stuff.
Did she even buy a ton of stuff?
Yeah, she had a whole cart of things.
Well, I thought you're not supposed to do that with like you're not supposed to go in that lane if you have a lot of shit.
Well,
That's
she
why
did.
her life was in shambles.
Yeah, that's probably why
Maybe
her
she didn't
life
know
was
how
in
to
shambles.
Maybe.
I just want to slap that bitch.
Yeah. But Rosa thought she was nuts. She thought, yeah, she
Sounds
thought
like that.
Yeah.
You know, you have some sort of social, anxiety.
Yes.
Or maybe just your disposition doesn't do well.
And me with my
You know,
anxiety and all that shit. But
Yes.
I've never been that nuts.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe like in high school on marijuana.
Well,
A really bad marijuana. Like the kind that was like, oh my god. You know, like really bad shake.
Yeah.
marijuana.
Like the anxiety-ridden episodes of the sativa. Yeah. The sativa strain. Yeah.
Well, that's a good band name, the Sativa Strain.
Yeah.
That'd be a
Yeah,
good
it
band
is.
name.
Sativa's
It's really cute. Sativa always sounds so pretty, too.
But it's not pretty. It gives you anxiety.
It does. Yeah.
Too
Too
special
stimulating.
someone's name. Sativa!
Yeah.
Get in here.
What if you name your daughter Sativa?
We're like, who's your daddy? Snoop Dogg?
Oh, man. Now, one thing that you did just mention, though, that totally, we kind of touched on this very briefly before we started recording. The daddy-daughter fantasy and the father's, and then and the son-mother fantasy.
I'm
You're like, let's
Me
talk
too.
about that.
But we do have to qualify this
We're
though
like,
because
we're talking about crazy, but let's bring it.
no, we do have to talk about this though because it's not like okay when you hear like daddy-son porn or
Yeah.
like daddy-daughter
It's an
porn,
archetype.
it's
Yeah,
not.
it's an
It doesn't
archetype.
mean
It's
that
archetypes.
they're like pretending to be a dad and a
No,
son. It just
no.
means like an older guy and a younger guy, or like an older guy and a younger girl.
And I think it's an archetype,
and they're not
too.
even pretending to be related,
Yeah.
and it's just like the name that they give it is daddy-son porn or daddy-daughter porn, but it's not like they're trying. But it's a bad name.
It's
I
not
don't know
like
why
a
they call it that.
pedophilic, yeah.
It's an archetype.
It's an archetype
Like,
because
got
it doesn't mean it doesn't mean like it's your father or your mother.
No.
It has to do with the role that the
Like
father
a father type
takes.
and a son type. but
Yes,
not-
yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I think.
So that's what it is. It's just like people that like older people with younger people.
It's a
you know,
certain,
cross
but it's a
generation.
It's
certain
more than
archetype.
that.
It's like a man.
I think that has to do with the archetype of the father
Well,
figure.
it's kind of like a man
and a
think
younger
about fucked up
person.
pieces. Like, so a man's gonna be like, you know, and you're in the car and you're like, he's like, I'm gonna pump your gas, and you're like, oh, that's like a daddy figure. You know, that's
What?
Like,
Like, what are you talking about?
like somebody
like you're at the gas station? Or is that sexy talker or something? I don't know.
You totally lost me here. Yeah.
like doing things.
Oh, you
They're
mean like
taking
to
care
I see what
of
you're
you.
saying. That's the archetype.
Yeah.
The archetype
Take
is
charge,
and taking care of the younger, more naive person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to pump the gas.
Yeah.
Like, all of this stuff is going on. But you know, you're like, oh, that's sexy. Look at my man pumping my gas.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, and then you're like, I want a coffee. And he's like, you want a coffee, baby? Here you go. How much is a coffee? $4.75. Here's 20. You're like, oh, my baby got a lot of money.
Yeah. Taking
Go
care
buy
of.
yourself something pretty to wear.
So you're like, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the archetype.
Nora's a daddy in disguise.
Yeah.
So you're like, here's 100. You're not such an archetype. So you're like,
Yes,
my man
that's what I think.
Like
taking care.
Cut my chuleta for you, right?
What is a chuleta? A pork
Yes,
chop?
that's a big thing with food. Like when they cut the food for you, when they cut your meat and stuff like that.
Wait, people do that for other people?
Oh, I see
Yeah,
that.
that's actually more like dominant, like
I've seen
DS,
it.
Really?
DS stuff.
Like,
yeah.
Papi, I can't call
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Will you please cut my chuleta?
Yeah, and it's like sexy.
I mean, okay, so like, right, it is kind of sexy.
does
to
come- I
call
think
a man papi, you know, like, hey, papi, how you doing, papi?
And think about it.
And they'd
The
be like, go get
archetype.
daddy his Chanclas.
Go get daddy his Chanclas.
I died.
mother. They're the ones that always, they knew everything and took care of everything and always knew the answers. And, yeah.
Not my daddy.
It's like, look at Daddy, it's Chuck.
This has devolved.
Okay, so
that reminds me. We know we had a friend.
yeah.
Her boyfriend put on his.
Oh, that's right. At night.
The mommy-ish.
That's a mommy thing.
Oh, men like to be babies.
Yeah.
Because I work in a
some
place
men do.
She used to
yeah,
put his pajama pants on.
Where men
She's
love
like,
that
lift your butt.
shit.
Yeah.
They love to be babies. And women kind of like babying men.
Okay, so
Yes,
I like.
I do like that.
I like
Yes.
nurturing. I like
Nurturing.
spoiling.
Yes. I
you know,
definitely have
we
that.
like that.
I
Yeah.
like that, but I don't. I'm not like you want to chew on baby.
A chupone.
I'll give you a chupon.
What's that?
Like
The pacifier.
That's a chupone? Is a pacifier?
Go get Daddy, it's Chuck.
She's still in the Chanclas.
Okay, wait. Okay.
That is so good. That is so good. Some people do have the chupon.
Oh, that's a whole other
gotta get
podcast.
a chupon, alright?
We're getting a whole other podcast there. Okay.
So open wide.
So wait a minute. Woo. So I think that like that whole Oedipus thing, that motherfucker was on to something.
Yeah, that's a very powerful.
Because what is it? Oedipus is for the guys and Electra's the girl.
Is the girl? Yes.
So Oedipus what? Killed his father and loved his mother?
And married his mother, but in the play he didn't know he killed his father and married his mom. He didn't know
it just
because he was
happened.
abandoned as a child and all this stuff. But that's the thing, that the whole wait.
Time when I'm zooming.
Hold on a minute, I'm finishing a thought. Okay, so anyway, but that's the whole point of the play is the possession of, for the boy, the possession of the mother and his hatred toward the father for having the mother.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay,
But
so
is there a realness to it?
well, yeah,
It's
that's like
Freudian,
it's Freudian.
too. Like that's kind of what he.
Yeah, some things that he said he sounded a little bit too off his rocker, but some things I'm like, you may have had a point, Frood.
But where does that come from, though? How do they figure that out? They've seen behavior?
Yes, it's through the behavior and studying the different stages, because he had this whole thing like stages of childhood, like from infancy to adolescence to
Because
like
you
all
learn
these-
how to like be sexual from
Yes.
somewhere.
Those
you know
are your
what I mean?
first
It's
role
like your
models.
first ideas
Yeah.
of like gender and men and women
and roles.
I learned that from the movie channel.
I know.
From the Spice Channel, remember? It was all like grainy, and we would try to see the Spice
Right,
Channel.
that's why I learned how to be sexual from the movie channel.
I learned that from watching Batman and Robin.
Right.
Oh, I had such a crush.
I had
on Robin.
I had a crush on Robin too.
I had a crush on Robin too.
And then I had a crush on Wonder Woman after. And then
Wonder
Elvis,
Woman.
Wonder
Elvis.
Woman, and I don't know why I didn't have a crush on Batman. Now that I'm older, I want Batman. I want the one in charge.
See, I got stuck at the Robin stage.
Yeah, Robin was cute.
He's adorbs.
Yeah, he was totally adorbs. Batman, I think, was too stiff. The original Bat to me. It was a little too stiff. Yeah.
He had the moves, baby.
He did, but there was something about him that was stiff. It was personality. He looked kind of a stuffed shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But those stuffed shirts, man.
Yeah, they couldn't let their hair down. They could.
They really can't.
Now I know this, but as a kid, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Wonder Woman, the new Batman vs Superman, that Wonder Woman is fantastic. She kicks ass.
Yeah, she's like Israeli or
She's
something,
awesome.
right?
She's an Israeli actor.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, she's
It's
awesome.
a Wonder Woman. What would it be?
She's beautiful.
2016?
2016 Wonder Woman. She looks fantastic.
She
She's
didn't
tough.
even know who
She's not like a
Wow.
stereotypical female character.
Yeah.
She's really strong and like
Nice.
she's intelligent. And she kind of saves them at the end. Like it's
Yeah.
So she's not twirling around waiting
good.
to like, get into her
No,
outfit.
she's. I mean, she looks really hot. Like she's super
course.
hot. Her
Yeah,
dresses
she's
are
beautiful.
awesome. But she's strong and like she's a really good.
I used to
figure.
spin myself to death waiting to turn into Wonder Woman
my
when I was
God.
a kid. Maybe that's why I can't go on teacups now.
Oh.
Fuck the teacups. I grew up on that thing.
Oh, man.
But I was reading on history of Wonder Woman, and she was created in 1941.
Interesting.
And the creator was this guy, I forget his name, but he was a feminist, and he was a huge male feminist, and he created Wonder Woman.
That's very avant-garde for
Yeah.
back then, man.
But then after he like kind of like went out of the scene, DC Comics like took over Wonder Woman, and they relegated to her as like the secretary of the Justice League. You
This
know,
one?
and then in the 70s, yeah, that's her.
Oh,
In the
it's not.
70s, she had a resurgence as like
Yeah,
a
she's
strong
beautiful.
feminist
She kind of looks
icon.
like a
Yeah.
Charlize Theron to me. I love Charlize
Yeah.
Theron.
Oh
She's,
yeah.
yeah, she's beautiful.
Mhm.
That's
But
her?
yeah, this actress is awesome. That's not
Yeah, she's really cute.
Except,
Really?
I mean, I always thought Charlize Theron was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That
I have a
thought
girl crush.
changed after watching
Monster. That was a
Like,
good
Oh
transformation.
man, that thought changed to me when she started like being a bitch to the sister girls.
What?
Sister Girls.
Yeah,
What
there's
happened?
some sort of thing
Rosa's
going
always
around.
in the know. You should have your
Yeah.
own entertainment weekly.
You totally
show.
should be.
Shit.
What the hell is that guy's name? Perez Hills.
It's like
Oh,
a
yeah, like totally, yeah.
Lowry or
Wait, so
whatever
I
the
don't
hell.
understand what's happening with the sister girls.
Okay, remember?
What was her
Tia
name?
and
Tia
Tamara.
and Tamara.
Yeah.
Charlie.
So something what happened now?
I mean, I really don't give a shit, but
yeah, but now she doesn't like Charlize Theron.
Cause she
Well,
What the hell happened?
Well, for me, she's looking it up, like just to get
Oh.
her facts straight. But I always had like a huge girl crush in Charlize Theron and Sharon Stone.
Because you like them bitches.
Well,
No,
they kind
because
of
they're
like the
beautiful.
same look. Yeah.
They're beautiful. Like I love that statuesque blonde.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
look, yeah.
Well, see, I'm actually
I like all types because I really like Famke Johnson. She's
So,
statuesque,
yeah.
but she's got dark hair.
yeah.
So
Love her.
sister girls.
Yeah.
Tia Mari
Uh-huh.
was like in a gym,
Mhm.
and she said
You're
she
right,
wasn't
yeah.
very nice to me. Tia, who long admired Charlize's work, dished to whatever the fuck. It's like I said hi, and she actually rolled her eyes and said, "Oh my god."
What?
That's terrible.
I wasn't over the top. I know how to approach another celebrity. Charlize was just mean. I'm just being honest. Fuck that bitch.
So now ever since then, Rosa's like fail.
I mean, there's like two sides to every story, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know. I
She
don't know.
probably, I don't know. That does sound kind of pretentious.
I mean, maybe she
Yeah.
could be. She could be
Yeah.
terrible.
But you
I
pretty, but you a
mean,
bitch.
but she's fucking Sean Penn.
Mm.
So hot. Sean Penn is so hot. It's not even funny.
Sean
That-
Penn, when I was
he's
like,
a
oh,
man.
That's like
He is
I
a
mean,
man.
there are certain guys
He's a
that,
man.
that women like that us gay guys just are not into.
Sean
Sean
Penn.
Penn. Johnny Depp is another one.
Johnny Depp is so cute.
Gay men are not into Johnny Depp at all.
Huh.
It is
Why?
so
Because he's
not,
like Susio?
I don't know. It's just not.
Does it have to do with their personalities? Like, are they
Maybe.
like a little bit too acidic? Because they're kind of acidic.
Yeah.
Their personalities are very much like they always got to be in their bonnet about something. They're always talking shit.
Oh.
They're always screaming. Sean Penn and Johnny Depp. Like Johnny Depp is like, "Fuck America, I'm moving to
Oh,
France."
they guys don't like Johnny Depp?
They
No,
don't.
not
Like, you
at
know, they
all.
have a very specific
Like not
type
attractive.
of.
Like it's like I like
Yeah,
it, but not,
right.
I'm not attracted.
Right.
To it.
Like they have that, you know, sometimes I wonder if that kind of thing happens with
Maybe a little
what
uppity.
and uppity too, maybe. Like how people say that Madonna, maybe a lot of times men were afraid of her, so they wouldn't necessarily call her beautiful. Like you're already
Oh,
not
yeah,
you're
that's
not
like-
beautiful because you're strong.
Because Madonna
Yeah.
came off as in the beginning
Yeah.
as a sex symbol.
Uh-huh.
And
And
then
then
she
when
kind of
she's-
took ownership of it.
And then they were like, fuck that ugly bitch.
Yeah. And you're like, bitch, you know she ain't ugly. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she did get kind of weird when she did the yoga 24/7. She looked like a piece of rope.
What?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. But this was a
Like,
long
that's a
time
little
before
rough.
that.
No, but
Yeah.
you're thinking of like erotica. Like
Oh
she did
yeah.
that.
Oh, all of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, all of that.
That's
And we're
more
totally
sexy,
yeah.
but it's like Angelina Jolie. It's like a woman's woman sexy.
Right.
So men are like, what the fuck, bitch?
Yeah, because they're not
Angelina
exploiting.
Jolie's
women.
like a tough sexy.
She's that's what she
she's a
is.
tough-
That's what she means.
She's got
Yeah.
like masculine
Yeah.
energy.
But
in
she's
a
like
way.
sexy.
But she's
you
beautiful.
know?
Yeah, she's so beautiful.
Beautiful, but it's a different type of
Yeah.
beautiful that men might be always attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
Not all men. I don't want to stereotype every single man. There's a lot of men that find her sexy.
Oh yeah.
But
for sure.
I find that she's like tough. She's like rough around the edges.
Uh-huh.
So that's why women might think she's more like Ruby Rose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from
Amber
Orange
Rose?
is the New Black.
Amber Rose.
No.
There's Ruby Rose.
Wait, who's Ruby Rose?
She's from Orange is the New Black. She's like the
Amber
short
Rose is-
Oh, I
hair.
thought her name was Amber Rose. Is that a different person?
Yeah, there is an Amber Rose, but this
Oh,
is Ruby
I'm
Rose.
getting confused.
She's like a woman's.
She's
well,
beautiful. Yeah, she's hot.
But she's hot. Like women find her hot. She's sexy, but she's like
Boyish
kind of
hot.
like a Madonna or Angelina Jolie.
Right,
Like
right.
they're not unattractive,
No.
but there's
But you
something
would
about
think-
her that men might find intimidating.
That's why I think that they don't.
They
go-
wouldn't kick about men wouldn't kick anyone.
No,
out.
but this is what I mean. because under other circumstances, if they didn't have those personalities, they would be deemed more attractive than what they're actually deemed as because they're intimidated by that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it seems like to me. You know what I mean?
That's what it
Normally,
is.
they would have probably been like, man, she's so hot. But because they're intimidating to them, they're totally like, they don't
Right,
say
that's
shit.
what it is.
Yeah, that's
Ruby
right.
Rose is hot.
Oh yeah.
Do you know who she is? She's like, she has like black
Well,
hair.
she blew up
Yeah.
on like social media from like straight women who were
Uh-huh,
like
yeah.
going crazy.
That's
over
what she
her.
means. Woman's
I
woman.
find her hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just something
But
about
you like
her.
guys that look pretty though too.
Yeah, because she is kind of a
what I
guyish
mean?
girl. That is true, because I like guys that look. But she's a woman, but there's
Well,
something
my
about
lesbian
her,
friends
like-
also say that like the way they dress, they're not trying to attract guys, they're trying to attract women.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why they're like, oh, well, I do dress a little more boyish.
Oh, yeah, look
Like-
at her, Ruby Rose, because she does
Yeah.
look like she'd be like a pretty guy.
She's
So
beautiful.
it's like if you're trying to attract a woman, you're gonna.
And it's more even just the whole demeanor because like if you put somebody
The
like
energy, yeah.
Marilyn Monroe in those clothes, like she wouldn't look masculine. You know, they would still
Ruby
look
Rose
feminine.
still looks a little feminine.
You know, there's no, they look feminine, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is she does have that inner personality. Marilyn Monroe to me is like archetype of femininity, like overboard. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
Ruby
yeah.
Rose has more straight women
Yeah.
fans than anything else.
Oh yeah, she blew up on social media. I remember that. That's such a good show.
Yeah, but she's just like cool. Like even
Yeah.
like just from what she seems like. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
But like Angelina Jolie looks like that type.
I always liked her, Angelina.
Yeah,
Jolie.
like she's just like, you know, like more of like a like a woman's woman. You know, like a lot of women might find her sexy because of what she.
Well, for me too, like a lot of the artists that I like are always women that are strong-willed and you know what I mean. They have like an off-kilter way of looking at the world, and they're very
Yeah, those are like
those are the women. All the like I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like all the women artists that I like are that way. You know what I mean? Like that's just it's the way it's been.
Ruby Rose, Angelina Jolie, there's tons more.
Yeah.
PJ Harvey, like
PJ Harvey,
yeah.
yeah, like all that, like even Bjork, that fucking crazy ass, I love her.
Madonna, like,
but
men-
she owns it and she does her shit
Men
and she
won't
doesn't care.
find them.
Yeah, and she's really pretty.
Men won't
No, she's
find
not, but-
them. Like they won't say they're because they're not like a Britney Spears.
They're not like
they're not safe.
Yeah.
Well, even like female comedians, like if you listen to them, like interviews with them, they'll say that like the male comedians, they could like be look however they want. They'll get tailed, they'll get
Yeah.
The female comedians never get approached, never
Right,
get hit
of
on,
course not.
because like being a comedian is such an aggressive thing.
Yes,
It's such a-
yes,
like a
this is-
masculine
this is
kind
like
of
something
energy.
Absolutely.
It
When I
intimidates
was
men.
when I was a
Absolutely.
kid, I mean, you knew me from before. I was more of like goofy.
Yeah, oh totally.
People look down on it.
Yeah.
Men
When you're a
in
woman.
particular, like boys in particular.
And now you're like, fuck you.
Now I'm like,
Now.
fuck
But when
you.
you're a kid, you're
When
a
you're a
kid.
kid,
yeah.
I mean, it was
looked down
off-putting
upon.
to
It
be
was
goofy.
so
Yeah.
off-putting. No boys like goofy. They're like, what the fuck is that? You're just not pretty. You're not attractive. You're weird. You're goofy. Remember I was telling you I felt I was an orange personality? I used to be.
Yeah.
But I never wanted to, like, sometimes orange people can be a little, like, brash and obnoxious. And because I have a little bit of that green, I was like, maybe I'm being too obnoxious, you know? Like, if somebody would be like, whoa, tone it down.
Oh, right.
Because I have that in me where I'm like, maybe I'm being obnoxious and annoying. So let me tone it down. But it was more than that. So then it was stifled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Cause
Yeah,
like,
Because then you
Yeah.
got insecure about it.
I've done that a lot with a lot of aspects of my personality. You know, when and that are just starting to come back around now. So you know, you guys like to say like, "Oh, Nora's coming back."
It's
and
like the
true.
Renaissance Nora.
It's
no,
true.
your
I love it.
personality now is like,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's like it's Nora.
it's
Yeah.
but it's like a more like,
It's a
I don't
mature- it's a
give
more of a-
fucking shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
It's
Because
like
when we were
Nora
younger,
2.0.
Nora 2.0, yeah, because we're all like, think about us like when we were younger. We all had insecurities because that was a stage of our life. Like we were insecure, we were kids.
No, but now you're like,
You know what I mean?
aware, and
Yes,
you're like, I don't
yes.
give it, like, this is kind of what I am.
Yes,
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's awesome.
yeah.
So anyway, sorry for interrupting. Like you were saying
Yeah,
something.
like
you were
you're just
completing a thought.
Yeah, but
Then we
I'm
like jumped
thinking
all
about it,
over.
like, man, you're so like,
Yeah.
Complete
you know,
thoughts.
like you're just
What?
kind of, you're more aware.
We are the Wild Tangents.
Like you're more like aware. Like you're like, I do this, and you're like, that's because why I do it. Well, fuck that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know I do it because of that. You know
Right,
what
that's
I
a
mean?
good place to be. So anyway, sorry. You were saying.
That I think when you're made fun of, or when someone you love or find in high regard tells you that those things about you are not right,
it's fucked up.
You put them away.
Yeah, it's fucked
So
up.
true.
We've all
Oh my
had
god.
it.
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
true.
terrible.
Kid, we've all
And you
had it in
learn to
different
edit and
ways.
censor yourself.
Yeah, yes,
We've all had it
censor.
in different ways.
It's
Either
true.
it was overt,
Yes, or
like maybe how you had it, or it was underhanded with how I had it. Like
With the-
giving you looks like, God, you're weird, or
Yeah.
you're too much. You need to tone it down. Like
Yeah.
now
There's
you're
like
like,
subtle
It's like
things
everything you
oh,
like
you're not
is
supposed to do
stupid.
that.
Like that, you want to read that book? That's dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you like that song? That's dumb. You don't know who this is? I can't believe it. Like, where were you born?
Wow.
So that's more overt.
Yeah.
And
Man,
there's
fuck
underhanded
you.
of just looks, which brings you back to cray.
Uh-huh.
Cray, however you slice it, is always cray. But sometimes the underhanded cray is more hard hitting.
Yeah, that's hard hitting. And then when you fucking realize it, you're like,
We all hate it, because remember I said, when I was a kid, I
Yeah.
was very orange. I was very, I don't give a shit. This is what I like.
and we're talking about the personality types from last episode. Check it out.
So orange is
check
the
it out.
action-based personality.
Yeah, like I was like, dude, I am what I am. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, blah, 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 blah.
And you lost it.
And then I lost it.
Mhm.
But I feel like I'm in a creative field, and I'm bringing that shit back.
Yeah, you
That's
really
great,
are.
Amor. That's
You're
good.
embracing it too.
So
I feel like
I'm
you're
like-
embracing your old self.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it is what it is. I'm fucking weird. I always was. And I think we all are.
Yeah.
But I feel like because people say shit,
Yeah.
and people are assholes,
Mm-hmm.
and you see people get knocked down by other people because of their insecurities or whatever it may be, that you lose yourself, and what's important is to find it again.
Well,
That-
I think that's the reason why I started to feel so self-conscious on stage, and that's why I felt
Ah,
so
yeah.
con-
Well, that'll do it.
We all
Yeah,
had it in one way, whether it be a boyfriend,
Yeah.
a mother,
Yeah.
right.
a best friend,
Your peers.
Right.
Yeah.
whoever.
Exactly.
Somebody could knock you down.
Mhm.
Right. And keep
And-
you there because you hold them in high regard.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah, I think that has a lot to do with the fact I was like, oh, I can't be on stage. People are looking at me. They all know I'm stupid now. You know what I mean? Or
Oh my
like, you know what I mean?
God.
Or like, I can't talk in public, even though I've worked on that. But
Yeah.
you're feeding yourself these messages, and it's not true at all.
Exactly.
And no matter how much you work on it,
Exactly.
I mean, it takes a lot of work to get out of it.
Mm. Oh, yeah, it does. For sure.
You know what I
Takes-
mean?
It could take years.
You get in your head a lot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially as a performer too. Like, oh my god, I get in my head so much sometimes as a
You
performer.
really?
Oh my
You're always
God.
so easygoing on
Sometimes
stage.
when I'm on
and-
stage, it looks like I'm really comfortable, but I am like
That's
going
a
million miles an
creative
hour.
Yeah.
field.
Yeah.
But what I've learned to do is I take one or two shots of whiskey before
That's his
I go
thing.
up.
That's his recipe.
One
now.
or two shots, and
Girl.
that loosens up the control a little bit for
Girl,
me.
why would we always gotta
See,
drink something?
I
But
used
just
to
it's
be-
not it that I'm getting drunk. It's
Yeah.
just like the little bit of I just need
Mhm.
because I get too analytical sometimes during a performance,
See,
and I'm
this-
thinking about
yeah.
like, oh, I should move my guitar.
It's like
here.
green
I
can't
should
mix with
do
blue.
this at this moment. I just need to let that go and just have be in the
I
moment.
used to kind of be like that. Now, not so much. I used to be more like that.
Like it has to be perfect.
Yeah. Like, and I would get in
Yeah.
my head a lot. Yeah, I would. And now I'm like,
I
You
was
could
talking
think
to a
everyone's
musician
judging
last
you.
it's
night.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So I was talking to a musician last night, and he was also saying that because I was telling him about my stage fright and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, you got to get past that."
You
He's
do,
like,
yeah.
"You got to get to the point where you have to accept the fact that you are going to be playing the song, and you might fuck it up.
Yeah.
And it's most of the time it's inevitable, but no one knows it except
They
you.
don't.
Yeah.
It's
You
true.
know what
they
I mean?
don't.
And maybe your bandmates know it or whatever.
Right.
But
And another musician may, but whatever. For the
Mhm.
most part.
And at the end of the
People
day, if you
don't.
have the balls to get up on stage, that's more than most people.
Yeah,
More
right.
than 99% of the population.
Right.
You know?
It's true. It's true.
So it's like, that's you've already won most of the battle, just getting up there.
right. Exactly.
I get like Cindy Brady syndrome, and
Yeah.
just kind of like no one wants to listen to me, or they're paying attention to me because they're expecting me to fuck up.
Oh, yeah. See, that's
And
on
then
your
I'm
head.
like-
Yeah, totally.
And I feel like when most people go see somebody, they want them to be good. You know what I mean? Like you go to open mic
I remember
night or
my
something,
vocal
you're like
coach
hoping,
told
you're like,
me-
oh, come on, I'm rooting for you. You
My
know?
vocal coach told me that. She's like, one of the number one things that I could teach you that is paramount, like it's paramount. Never show that you're having trouble. because people in the audience will feel
They
that.
smell
They
fear.
don't want to. They don't want to feel. They don't want to see you fail.
Right.
They really don't. You know. And I was like,
It's true.
I was like,
And if you
oh,
start
that's an interesting way of
starting to
thinking
fail,
that.
they
Yeah.
they disconnect from it.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
You
It's like they don't want. They just like, so don't like let on. If you can, everything that you could possibly do to not let on if something's going awry. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, that's interesting. It's like just kind of, you know.
Just like, there are some people who apologize for what's going on upstage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've
that.
done that. I've definitely done that.
Really?
But totally. And I don't know if it's just my inclination to do that as like if I'm talking to a person and something happens, I would. So I think a lot of times I'm on stage and that
not
has
treating it
happened
like
like
a
I'm
show.
Yeah, exactly, like I'm talking to like a friend of mine and I'm totally like, oh, you know, like
I think if you address it like in a really nonchalant way, it's okay.
Yeah.
But if you dwell on it with the audience, it's bad. You know, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I can't believe I totally fucked. You know.
Oh yeah,
It's
no,
like,
I don't do
screwed
that.
up. Here's start again.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like, no
that's
big
what I've
deal.
done.
Like,
Yeah,
no big deal.
I've totally done that. And then afterwards, I'm like,
Because
maybe I
then you
shouldn't
get
have
them
said
on your
anything.
side, you know.
Yeah, because then afterwards, then I have felt like, wait a minute, I should have said anything because I probably didn't fucking notice. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's when Cheryl, my vocal coach, told me that she was like, yeah, just don't do that. You know, and I'm like, well,
Yeah, and it's just like, again, it's
Yeah.
that voice that we've been talking about in other episodes
Yeah.
that's like constantly just mean to yourself. You know what I mean? You just have to like see it for what it is. It's just an illusion, you know? It's just like, shut the fuck up.
yeah, exactly.
You can be here, but you're not going to comment on
Right.
what I'm doing. And,
Right.
you know, I see it for what you are.
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The awareness is.
For me, it's fighting it in that moment. I can always do it in hindsight when I'm thinking about it.
But that's already like a breakthrough in hindsight. Some people don't
Yeah, at
even
least
get
you're
there.
reflecting.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
Well, I always live my life and then like think back on it like, oh shit, why the fuck did I say that?
Yeah.
Or why did I do that? Or why did I take those actions? Or why did I spend that money? Or why did I, you know what I mean? It's all these things that, I don't know, it's always, for me, it seems too late.
Yeah, at a certain point, you just gotta, like the Rolodex of hate that we were talking about with Bianca Del Rio.
Yeah, I
you just
love
have to
that.
have this arsenal of things, like so
Yeah.
when that stuff does happen, you have it ready. You know what I mean? You have your response ready, or you have your reaction ready. You know, because I think that comes with experience.
It does. And that's why as you get
True.
older, like you feel more sure.
Like, you
You
know,
know,
I used to
like,
go to the
the
old
things-
country buffet and like get 4 plates and like eat all the shit, but now I know when I
Yeah.
go there, I can't do that
The
shit.
things
I love this
learned
analogy.
going along was like just to think about. This sounds so fucking cheesy, and there's no way that I could explain it to someone that doesn't like. It sounds cheesy, but how can I explain it to like things that like make you happy in life? Like say they're like if you have kids and you're like, there's times in life where my daughter is a total bitch.
Yeah.
But there's times in life when my daughter is fucking awesome, and that outweighs whatever.
total bitch
or
part.
my son is cool, or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
or what have you.
Right.
If you like focus just on the awesome things, because they most likely outweigh the negative.
Yeah, that is
hopefully.
true.
If you kind of just focus on that shit,
And we're all conditioned to focus on negative all the
we
time.
are.
Yeah.
Like it overpowers positive.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like
and then
me,
it
when I do
completely ruins
hair,
everything.
I will focus on just like one negative.
You
color
do.
clump.
And I'm like, don't stop.
But then
it.
clients that are like, this haircut's so great. This
Yeah.
thing is so great. Oh, I love this. I love
Right.
this right here. All that shit is like, who cares?
Right.
But I will focus on that one person who's like, I don't know, these highlights. And I'll just keep thinking about it. I was like, why did I do that? I'm
Right.
so horrible. That's
Right.
all I keep on thinking
And it's so
about.
not true.
It's like negativity goes and, you know, and I'm like, but people who tell me like, you know, you just can't believe it. You're like, I don't believe what they're saying. They can't be happy with what I do. It's so
I mean, it's the
stupid.
same
That's
thing
like
with like the
mindfuck.
news.
But they're
the only-
paying you.
Right. Right.
But you think like, are they paying me because they feel like they have to? Do you know what I mean?
Well, like I told you on the
Well,
train
even if they are,
earlier
who gives a
today,
shit?
there's people like me who like, I take the train to go see her. I'm
Yeah.
not just, and I walk. I'm not doing it just because I'm your friend. If that was the case, I
Right.
would have let you practice on me and been like, well, I'm done.
Right.
Thanks, I want to do something closer. I'm doing it because I like what you do.
Exactly.
And
And
my-
people,
yeah, you
that's
look
my main
great.
thing. People come back.
But my main
That's
thing
the
is,
main
if
thing.
you didn't like what I did at one point,
Uh-huh.
please let me work with you, and I will find a way to give you what you want.
Well, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
And
that's my main
exactly the way
thing.
And then already sets you apart because most people don't do
Because
that.
hair is really weird.
It is.
Like sometimes you're like, oh,
everybody's different.
you got to work with it.
Because you don't know how many people I've talked to that's like, oh, my hairdresser didn't listen to me. Or my, you know.
That was always my main
Most
thing.
people send them to me because
Like
I know
always,
the hair.
it's like they always cut it too short. It's like way too short.
Yeah.
Much shorter than I wanted. Or
Right.
Because
Yeah.
they're not listening.
It's like they do what they want. Yeah, absolutely.
Like
My
more
rule
than
of
probably
thumb-
50% of it is listening.
But the
My
thing
rule of
is,
thumb is when they say I want 3 inches off, boo, no, you don't.
yeah,
You don't want 3 inches off. It's always just 1.5.
right.
You think
Well, now that you
Oh,
know
three
that,
inches is this.
Right.
You want like this.
and then most people are like, "Wow, it's great." Yeah,
And
you
you're
get
like,
what
it's
you
perfect. But they're like, can you cut more? Hell yeah, I can.
Right, but don't do it right off the
Or
bat.
if you cut too much, you're like, this is too
You can't get it
short.
back.
You can't get it back.
Yeah.
But it's about like
It's
caring.
and that's the thing too, because that's what I mean. Don't dwell on the negative. Like it's easier to
Yeah.
dwell on the negative. It's always easy to
Accentuate
Yeah.
the positive.
And then like I said, it sounds so cheesy, but it really is.
it really
true.
is true because it will
But
ruin.
what is it about the creative?
It's a dark
fields?
cloud.
I think in
Wow.
order to be creative, you do have to have the push and pull. You know what I mean? You do have to like constantly challenge yourself. And if you didn't, you wouldn't do anything. You know what I mean? The craving to be creative is to like think outside of yourself and challenge yourself and critique yourself. You know, so it's healthy to have that. Like you wouldn't be any good if you didn't say like, oh, I fucked that up. Oh my god, that was really bad. I shouldn't do that again. Like, how would you ever get better? You know?
I think
so you
also-
need that, but when it overpowers, it's all about balance.
Yeah, it's all about balance.
Like when you let it
There's
overpower.
But I
much
think
ego
also
in that
it
field.
is,
There's
and
a
that's
lot.
it goes back to awareness and also
There's
with
a
the creative
lot.
fields as opposed to something that's more more
linear, engineer.
more of you is in it. So when your work is critiqued and maybe put down, you're put down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're invested.
But I feel like I want to
emotionally
because I'm green
because of that.
personality.
Yeah.
I think because I'm green personality. I like when someone tells me
No.
what's wrong.
Oh,
Some people
critique is
don't.
okay, but it's like,
Some
but
people don't. Like I like when someone tells me like I'll do like a haircut and like a girl that I work with, my coworkers will tell me they're like, what I would have done differently was this
A, B,
and
or
this
C.
and this,
Yeah.
and I'm like, cool, that's cool.
And
I'll
you take
think
that
about
into
it.
consideration,
I
but
totally
you don't
take
you don't like, oh, that's I
no,
saw.
she takes it into
Yeah,
consideration
you
and then
don't
she
take that
does
as a
it.
threat.
And then
No,
I'll do
she
it. I'm
doesn't.
like, you know
Yeah.
what? That was perfect. Or that didn't work for me.
Right.
It's not nothing against you. It works
Yeah.
for you. But
But
most
for
of
me,
the time,
yeah.
it does work. I'm like, that's what I've been doing this whole time. You know what
Right.
I mean?
And that's very, very healthy and productive. You know what I
That's
mean?
the
Like,
thing with creative, but like I've noticed that people in creative fields can tend to fight a lot.
Yeah.
And there's
Oh,
a
it's
lot of
dramatic.
Well, there
It's the
is-
blue.
yeah.
It's the dramatic
yeah.
blue personality.
yes.
So I
Emotion,
mean, like
feeling.
even like people like will snap at other people in creative fields
because it's almost it's like an extension of their self.
Mhm.
Like
But
whatever
they
it is that they're doing, that they're putting out, like say their poetry, a song, anything, even like they're acting. Like even though they're becoming another character,
imagine going
it's still
from-
them.
Imagine going from what you're working on now, which is very what I was at.
Mhm.
It's very black and white. It's either right or wrong.
But I have done creative stuff, but not as a
imagine
job.
Going as a job.
Yeah, but
It's
not as a
little
job.
bit different.
Yeah, yeah,
You could do it because you've been doing it,
right, right.
but it's different.
Oh, it's very different.
I like it though.
Well, this has been definitely a very interesting show.
I know. We could like talk about wild tangents. We totally, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of information. Well, at least, our 2 cents, really. That was
That
all
was like 50 cents.
Yeah, that was like 50 cents. Yeah.
Yeah.
As usual.
Yeah, that's what we do best, I guess, guys.
Yes, yes. And we're glad to take you on the journey with us. And, we have heard from people feedback that it's, whenever people have listened to our show, they feel as though they're sitting around the table with us, which I think is such a cool description. And I love that. I think that's awesome.
Especially for Italians.
Yeah.
Because you enjoy having the dinner
Exactly.
and talk and
That's what I was going to say. Like, if I could seriously physically have all of you here, we totally would. And we could have, like, a nice
Yeah.
discourse. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I really
Hey,
like that. I like
maybe
that.
future
compliment.
idea, huh?
Oh, and we also have some shout outs, right?
Yes.
We wanted to.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
We wanted to say thank you very much to Dave and Dent.
Yes. As always.
Wait, every time we say his name, we should just go.
Oh my God, he lives in our dreams, seriously. But want to say thank you because he passed on a clip to another show that played it for us, the Succotash show. So if you get a chance, take a listen to Strange Times, which is Davian's show. Sexy motherfucker. Yeah. And he passed our clip on to the Succotash show who played it. So thank you. And we have another shout out to our very good friends at Everything Bagel Podcast.
Yes.
We love them. We talk about them all the time. I promote them a lot on Facebook and Twitter and stuff, even though they're not really present on there.
Yeah.
But I feel that people should know who they are because they're great guys. Hey Bean, hey Steve, and they support local music. They are huge music fans, and they're just awesome people to listen to. So anyone want to listen to them, you can listen to them on rathouse.net or on Stitcher. You have to search for their episodes. So or on Instagram as well. They're on our buddy is Mingstein.
Yes.
Grace Mingstein on Instagram. So hey guys, we love you. Keep up the great work. We appreciate you listening and supporting us, and we want to do the same for you. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Ciao for now, bitch.
If you like what you heard, please share us on Twitter at Bitch Podcast, on Facebook at labpodcast Chicago, on Instagram at l.a.b._podcast, or visit our website www.labpodcast.com.